This is Glenn Healy.
Hi, this is Braden Holtby.
This is Daryl Sutter.
Hi, this is Brian Burke.
This is Jordan Tutu.
This is Keith Morrison.
This is Kelly Rudy.
Hi, this is Scott Hartnell.
Hey, everybody. My name is Steele Fleury.
This is Tim McAuliffe of Sportsnet, and you're listening to the Sean Newman Podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, folks. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. It has now been over a week of fully open, which has been nice here in Saskatchewan, Alberta, right on the border. And just to see everybody smiling and getting out and restaurants filling up and the truck wagons being full and people dancing again and singing, and it feels like life is coming back, which is pretty cool to watch. Hopefully you're getting to enjoy some of it, or whether you're at the lake or in town here, wherever you're at. I hope you're enjoying summer. I know the smoke has kind of put in a little bit of a damper on things, but other than that, it has been great weather. The farmers are cursing right now, and hopefully they get some rain. But hopefully you're, wherever you are enjoying the summer right now, because it has been beautiful weather, and even the wind hasn't been too bad, in my eyes at least. But let's get on to today's episode. Before we get there, we'll get to the episode sponsors. Carly Clausen, Windsor Plywood, builders of the podcast studio table for everything wood. These are the guys. Of course, deck season is upon us, and holy sweet Jesus, did you see their renovation out at the lake? They redid a cedar deck, and holy Dinah, it looks, let me just say, it looks top-notch. Go to their Instagram page if you want to see the complete set of pictures that show what they did. And so if you got a backyard project on the go, stop in and see the group at Windsor Plywood, or hop on your phone and, like I say, do a little creeping. Whether we're talking decks, mantles, windows, doors, or sheds, these are the guys. 780-875-9663. Clay Smiley and the team over at Prophet River. We mentioned that they're moving. So an update on the new building is interior walls and the vault are under construction, and they have custom walnut cabinetry and a gun rack being built. I'm just saying, Ed, Clay, anytime you want to take me for a tour of this place, I would be more than willing to give you some of my time. Of course, Prophet River specializes in importing firearms to the United States, and they pride themselves on making this process as easy as possible for all of you, their customers, and they take care of everything. Paperwork, registering it, you name it, they do it. Just head to ProfitRiver.com and check them out today. They are the major retailer of firearms, optics, and accessories serving all of Canada. Trophy Gallery, downtown Lloydminster, is Canada's supplier for glass and crystal awards, which are perfect, obviously, for business owners. I mean, they got team memorabilia. Like, have you seen all the stuff going on in the NHL right now? We got expansion draft, followed by the NHL entry draft, followed by free agency. And if you're into sports and you want a way to commemorate some things, stop in and see the team at Trophy Gallery. Clint does it all right up in store, and let me tell you, he does top-notch work. Just take a look online at trophygallery.ca. All sizes, all shapes, all price ranges. Stop in today, downtown Lloydminster, or go to trophygallery.ca. Jen Gilbert and team, for over 45 years, since 1976, the dedicated realtors of Coldwell Banker Cityside Realty have served Lloydminster and the surrounding area. They offer star power, providing their clients with 7-day-a-week access. They know service is a priority because, wow, big life decisions, they are not made during office hours. That's Coldwell Banker, Cityside Realty, for everything real estate, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 780-875-3343. And if you got that house, maybe mortgage broker Jill Fisher can help you out. Obviously, her name says it all. She proudly serves the areas of Lloydminster, Bonnyville, Cold Lake, and Vermilion, and she's looking forward to working with you for all your mortgage needs. You don't know what to look for, that's all right. She can help you out. Whether you're about to renew your mortgage or you're curious about mortgage rates right now and you want to get some more information, she's a wealth of knowledge. Give her a call, 780-872-2914, or stop in or check her out online, that is, at jfisher.ca. If you're looking for any outdoor signage, head to the team at Read and Write, or give Mrs. Deanna Wandler a call. Both can be found at 306-825-5111. They did up the billboard. They did up all the signage here in the studio, and they are top-notch. Gartner Management is a Lloydminster-based company specializing in all types of rental properties to help meet your needs, whether you're looking for a small office or a 6,000 square foot commercial space, give Wade Gartner a call today, 780-808-5025. And if you're heading into any of these businesses, make sure you let them know you heard about them from the podcast, right? Now let's get on to that T-Bar 1 tale of the tape. These five suit up for different teams, two of which are in the AHL, the Iowa Wild and the Toronto Marlies. One plays in the WHL for the Winnipeg Ice and is a Philadelphia Flyers draft pick. One's a current defenseman for the Minnesota Wild, and one owns Huxley Hockey Conditioning. I'm talking about Mason Shaw, Bobby McMann, Connor McClennon, Carson Soucy, and Adam Huxley. So buckle up. Here we go. Welcome to the Sean Newman podcast. Today, I don't know. I'm joined by five guys. I was saying to you boys before we started, this is I love doing new things on the podcast. Having five guys on at once is either going to be a treat or it's going to be a workload. I mean, one of the two. But what we're gonna do is we're just going to go around the room kind of and get a feel for everybody so everybody can listening can kind of clue into who's sitting on the podcast today. So let's start with Bobby. Just your name, where you played last year, and your hometown.
Hey, I'm Bobby McMann. I played for the Toronto Marlies last year and a little bit in Wichita for the Thunder there. And I'm from Wainwright, Alberta.
How was the year? I know COVID's going to be a big theme here on this podcast because, I mean, we all obviously just lived through COVID year, but you guys all trying to have a hockey career. You guys dealt with some things, and Toronto was no exception. So you mind giving us a picture on how last year went for you?
Yeah. To start off, we weren't sure if we were going to have a season. So I was able to get some games in Wichita. They found a spot for me there until they knew if they were going to have a season, especially in the Canadian division. Of course, the COVID restrictions were a little bit stricter in Canada. So once they were able to have a season, I came back, did my quarantine. We put in a 36-game schedule, and about halfway through, we had some guys test positive for COVID, and then we ended up playing our last 13 games in 20 days. So it was a bit of a sprint for the time that we were playing, but definitely very fortunate to play.
Hey, I have a quick question. How were your workouts in your hotel room in Calgary? Do you have a push-up chart or something like that?
Yeah, doing some prison workouts in the Marriott hotel room in Calgary, waiting to get out and play some games. It was pretty tough, but it was fun.
When was the last time you played 13 games in 20 days?
Yeah, never in my life, especially coming from a college schedule where you get the whole week to prepare. You play 2 games and then you act like your body's in shambles. But once you hit pro, you realize you gotta be ready to go the next night.
Mason, you're up. Fire away with your name, your hometown, and we'll go from there.
All right. Mason Shaw here. I'm from Wainwright, Alberta. I've played the last 3 seasons with the Iowa Wild. I'll be suiting up for the Wainwright squad in this hockey game.
Yeah, I see. I was giving Hux a little bit of he brings 5 guys on. 3 of them are playing for Team Wainwright. Like, Soucy doesn't even have a helping hand on this conversation. Like, Hux, are you coaching the Wainwright team too?
Yes, me and Nick Fountain.
So it was just you ganging up on Soucy. All right, fair enough. Well, Mason, last time me and you sat down, if you can believe this, was September 11th, 2019, episode 33 on the podcast, and you were in the middle of rehabbing. How has the last little bit gone for you since then? Because, I mean, we haven't talked a whole lot.
Yeah, I guess since then, thankfully no more injuries, better knock on wood, but stayed healthy since then. That year I came back, it was a little bit tough trying to keep up, but, last season went really well for me. Obviously COVID year was tough, but we got 30 games in or whatever we did, 30 some games, and it went pretty well. So I think those injuries are now a thing of the past for me anyways.
Did you guys get fans in the building?
Yeah. Iowa was or Des Moines, I guess the city we were in, pretty much fully functioning ever since, after January. So we were allowed fans in our building, and our city was able to go open. So it was a fun spot to be this year. Didn't quite feel the stipulations or that some places had where they couldn't do stuff. So it was a good year for me, and we had a lot of fun.
Connor, where are you at out there?
Actually, at Turtle Lake right now in Saskatchewan. Family's got a cabin out there.
Right on. Well, Connor, give us your name, where you played last year, and of course your hometown.
Yeah, Connor McClennon, born and raised in Wainwright. Last 3 seasons, or I guess 2 in Winnipeg. Well, 1 in Winnipeg, I guess, 1 in the bubble, and then 1 in Cranbrook. So kind of been all over the place.
It's been, I'm sure the boys on here can all attest. Those years are some of the funnest years to play hockey, what you're sitting in. And instead, you've had, well, once again, the COVID year. How was playing in Regina in the bubble?
Yeah, it was different for sure. Kind of just fortunate enough to get in 24 games. I guess the guys across the way in the OHL didn't get any games. So we're pretty fortunate to get in what we did, and kind of just got to enjoy 2 months with the guys, and for the 20s, I guess their last game. So it was good to just get in some games for sure.
But no playoffs, nothing really to play for by the end, I suppose.
Yeah, no, not really. No playoffs. But I mean, when you only get 24 games, everyone kind of cherished every game and played their hearts out. So it was obviously hard not getting to play for anything, but you're always playing for something, I guess, in the long term.
Yeah, for sure. Carson, you're up. Well, we all know where you played last year, but I mean, by all means, where you played last year, hometown.
Where?
Yeah, where?
Yeah, Carson Soucy, born and raised in Irma. Played the last 2 seasons with Minnesota Wild.
How do you feel to be? How do you feel to be the
Wainwright now?
How do you feel to be the only guy playing for Team Irma on this call?
I don't know. It's come to be expected. I mean, Hux is going to try and stack his team last minute too, just like this. So there'll be a last minute add into Wainwright's team, try and just get a ringer late. So we'll see how the full teams end up at the end here.
How was the season in Minnesota? I mean, you guys, you came up against Vegas, and I remember a lot of people talking, probably myself included, like, I don't think they got a chance. Like, Vegas is one of the best teams in the NHL and has been for the last few seasons. But man, I think a lot of us were surprised at how well you guys played, and honestly, you might have been the better team.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, we matched up with them good all year. We kind of had their number this year, so obviously we kind of were hoping for that first round matchup of them over Colorado. I don't know. I mean, it was tough to go out in 7, but like I said, it could have gone either way that series, I think, kind of game to game. So it was fun. I mean, Vegas was kind of open at the end. So like the crowd was awesome there too. And even ours was kind of getting better and better. So it would have been awesome to make it to the second round and kind of onward just to get our full building back. But it was a fun first couple games there with Vegas for sure.
Yeah, that's probably, correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably your first experience of having a full building, fans in the stands, or am I wrong on that?
No, I had the full year before, and even my first couple games were against Winnipeg in the playoffs. 3 almost 4 years ago now, when I first got called up. My first real sniff was just at the end of the season, then played a couple games in Winnipeg when they had that pretty good team. I think they went almost to the Cup finals there. So that was probably the loudest it's been, going to Winnipeg. First time they were in the playoffs in a bunch of years. They had the whiteout going. So that was probably one of the loudest buildings I've been in.
Oh, fair enough. Funny what a COVID year does to my brain and probably everybody else's brain on this call. It warps time, and a guy forgets that it wasn't that long ago and there was fans in the stands. What's your thoughts? Like this week has been wild. The NHL right now is wild. They got, you got the expansion draft coming up here on the 21st. You got the NHL entry draft right after that, and then free agency right after that. And the big news this week coming out of Minnesota was Parise and Suter being bought out. I assumed, like everybody else, that surprised the hell out of you.
Yeah, I always get asked, "Oh, do you know this is coming?" Or but we're just kept in the dark, pretty much, just like everyone else. I get notifications on my phone from TSN or NHL Network saying Ryan Suter and Zach Parise are bought out. So that's how I find out too. And it was surprising. I mean, I obviously you can kind of see the more Zach Parise, just kind of how the later part of his year went, but Suter's still kind of been one of the top D-men on our team for how many years and still logging minutes night in, night out. So I did find that one a little more surprising, but obviously kind of Bill thinks best to just kind of clear some cap space up this next couple of years. So hopefully it works out.
Yeah, interesting nonetheless from this side of things. I think the entire world was a little surprised by that, but obviously I'm not in the know either, so I can't lend any speculation to it. Hux, you're up. You're the mastermind behind what's about to happen, I believe. Could you lend give us your name, where you're from? You've been on the podcast too. That was back in November of 2019, if you can believe that, on episode 43. So it's been a while. So refresh the guest or the audience memory on who you are, where you're from, and then maybe some details on what you guys are up to.
Well, first of all, thanks for having us on the show here and helping us promote this bad boy. The Rotary in Wainwright put up, I think it's about $3 million. They have to raise for the CT scanner in order to get it. Actually, from when my mom used to run the hospital in Wainwright here, and a bunch of them were pushing for the CT scanner. And it's not just for Wainwright. What people don't understand is the CT scanner. People come from Lloyd, even it's from all over. It's an area thing, right? So I'm going through a process of an ACL right now, and I haven't seen a surgeon. I've been waiting just to even see the surgeon for like 2 months. So you can imagine when people are waiting in line for CT scans and all that kind of stuff. This is just gonna get people in like around here quicker, and it'll help the process. So it's amazing that these people have done it. And then, they probably would have been at their mark already, but then COVID hit and they have not been able to do 90% of their fundraising, right? So the second we were allowed, I've been thinking of something to help them out. A good friend of mine, Sheldon Welch, and some other really, really good people that have done a lot for the community, like splash parks, all kinds of things that wouldn't happen without the Rotary. I felt like, as soon as we can do this, if we have the capability with these players around here, it would be an amazing, thing to help raise money for them, since COVID completely depleted their opportunity to raise money. Most of the guys on this call also benefit from that if they ever needed it, their family members, whatever. But then the next thing is it's amazing how much talent is around here, and to put it on display, and the only time you can get them together is in the summer. So normally we've had the ice in Irma. Amazing people out there, but with an older barn, the humidity kind of hurt a little bit, and they just couldn't do it anymore with, they can't have the rink condemned or something like that, right? Or else they wouldn't have a rink. So we me and Parker Mackay and a few other people put a massive proposal together to get the ice in Wainwright, so that we don't have Souce crying about driving an hour to go skate. Just bugging. But anyway, and so it was amazing. It's been awesome. It's been out in for a week now, and it was just a big idea to kind of, honestly, like who's been to an event for a long time. So this is the first event, kind of a kickoff to like, hey, we're kind of back to normal in the rink this year, Rustler games, Bison games, Aces games, whatever. So it was an awesome opportunity to display this talent, kind of cut back to normal a little bit, and raise a whack load of money for charity.
So if I get this
Is that
straight,
all the time we have, or can anyone else get some words in, or?
Of course.
I feel like
that'll be all from Adam Huxley tonight. Thanks for coming on, Adam.
I feel like I'm sitting in the locker room. I wish it was around a round table. I said that at the start. So if I get this straight, this coming Wednesday, which is going to be what, fellas? July? What's the date of Wednesday?
21st.
Wednesday the 21st. You guys have a celebrity charity game where the proceeds are going into a fund to raise money for a CT scanner.
CT scanner, yeah.
Okay. So can people, first off, Hawks, before we start ragging on you too much, can people buy tickets pre-game, or they just got to show up to the rink?
I've got a lot of questions about that. It's at the door. And yeah, everyone, whether you bring your baby or whatever, it's obviously a donation. So just it's $10 at the door. Doors open at 6:30. That's when the warm up is. And then there's 50-50 proceeds that also go to the Rotary, and there's some kids sport silent auctions that go to kids sports. So we're trying to help, and the Wainwright Rustlers and Bisons are running the bar.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so Carson wanted to know who the teams were. I'm looking at your team, Carson, and I'm digging what Irma's got kicking down. I'm just looking at a few. I'm probably going to torture some names here, boys, so you can laugh away. But you got Carson, obviously, Logan Gainey, Parker Mackay, Chase Waters, Zane Franklin, Jaeger Furcus, Keaton Hollanati. We go down the list here. Mazden Leslie, Brandon Baddock, Kyle Bocek, Kennedy Ganser, and Scott Ratzlaff. I hope I pronounced that right. In net. I don't mind your chances. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, and Lyndon Springer.
And
Springer.
And Springer. So, I mean, what are you worried about?
No, I'm not.
Honestly,
and Jordan
wouldn't be too worried about anything. If I could get a word in without Adam cutting me off, that'd be great too. But now that we have Hawks on the bench this year and not on the ice, that's only going to help Wainwright's chances. I know me and Connor coached a team to a victory 2 years ago, and the team's only going to look a lot better. I shouldn't be chirping my coach right now, but I think Wainwright's sitting pretty right now, especially at our home rink.
Boys, what is it? What is it about the area? You look down the list of guys who've come from Irma, Wainwright. I mean, you could probably go a little bit bigger, and you guys probably know that. But what is it about the area that's breeded success? There's been a lot of talented hockey players come out of that area. Is it the coaching? Is it, I don't know, is it something in the water?
Yeah, I mean, it could be the coaching too, just because kind of the community that helps out. I mean, obviously in Irma, you're not having a bunch of coaches kind of come in from other places. It's just kind of dads putting in their time and stuff. So the community obviously has to put a lot of work into almost every kid. And that's the same with Wainwright kind of. These parents care about the kids, obviously, because their kids have grown up with them or they've been coaching them for years. So I think the community's just put a lot of work in. Then obviously from a young age, even the parents will say that rivalry. I think that only helps just drive like competitive edge from Irma, Wainwright, Viking, those areas and stuff. Even like the parents have had that rivalry for how long, and it kind of just seeps into their kids. And I think that helps too, just competitively to always be competing and always wanting to win.
One thing that's always also very important, I find, is although we might not play together on the same teams, we rely on each other big time come the summertime. And especially the older we get and the more we try to move on with our careers, is we really depend on each other come summertime for skates and competition. And we're very fortunate that Adam and Parker have gave us an option in Wainwright to come home to and a chance to improve on our careers in the summers. But, we really do depend on each other to come home and make our skates as competitive as possible and try to help each other out moving forward, even though we may not be playing on the same teams or even in the same leagues.
I was going to bring that up. I think one of the cool things, and hats off to all you boys, is that you come back to your hometown in the summers. I know plenty of players who never get close to coming back home. They got, you guys once you're at the levels you're at, and I know Connor, you're a little younger, but I don't even know if that matters anymore. It seems like you can pretty much go train wherever you want. And for all you guys to come back to your home and then to be a part of a charity game, COVID willing, that's pretty cool. So what is it about coming home that brings you all back? And maybe I'll start with the youngest, Connor, and then Bobby, because they seem to be letting the old boys do all the talking.
For me, I think I moved away at a young age to go play Bantam. So I think just coming home in the summer, cherishing every moment you get at home, whether it's going to the golf course, playing golf with buddies, or just training in the gym, just seeing everything, just the familiar faces, and kind of getting in the routine, I guess, every summer, going to the gym with Hux, and now on the ice with Parks and Hux. It's been good. And now as the older we get, I think the more competitive it gets. I know for my age, lots of O2s, whether it's Mellon, Jordo, Newell, we've kind of been together since we were in Pee Wee. So I think just having that core group, like Shawzy said, is kind of special to come home to every year.
Yeah, and I'd agree. It's coming home is so nice when you have all the support, especially with the rink this year, and all the guys that have helped us along the way, like Hux and Parker now is jumping in on it, and it's been so helpful to be at home and not be in a new place to train. When you have that comfort, and the guys that you work out with, like Shazi and Seuss and Connor, like working out with these guys is so much easier to get through those hard workouts in the summer and push yourself and see where they're at and where they're playing, and get to measure yourself up a little bit is pretty nice. And then it's also pretty fun to roast Seuss and Hux on the golf course every
Probably
summer.
just a big confidence boost every time Bobby comes home and works out with us. So that's why he's coming back.
I'll teach him how to lift weights.
Bobby lights us all up in the gym pretty good. So
yeah.
if he's missing a day, no one's really complaining in our group.
On a side note, though, when I was growing up, we had no one. There's like two of us. You had to leave to Edmonton or something. That's how we started. And without Randy and Mike, this wouldn't be Randy Huxley and Mike Soucy. This wouldn't be wouldn't even be a dream. So and even Mason's dad and Bobby's dad, Connor's dad should be the GM of every team he's on. But no, it's the parent support is awesome. But like without some of those parents, this never would have started. And now these young kids are just reaping the benefits. Like we got kids coming up here that are really good players too, are going to be good players. You look at Jagger Furcus. I mean, Jags has been skating with Carson Soucy since he's like 14 years old, and now he's going to be an elite player in major junior. So just when I was growing up, we had none of this. So it's pretty awesome to see that these guys can come home and just, and financially good too. They don't have, they can live at home for the summer and relax, whatever. But no, it's amazing having them come back, and they work their ass off to deserve it. So.
How about for you, Carson or Mason? You guys go down south. It's especially this year. I assume there was a few more hoops to jump through coming back up. Did it ever cross your mind not to come back up north and train in your hometown?
No, I mean it's always just nice to come back. I mean it does cross your mind, just kind of border to border, but once the border is opened up, it's kind of always. I mean, you don't get to see your family for 7 months at a time. It's always nice to come home for the summer and see all these guys, see all the Wainwright crew, and then, like I said, see family and friends, kind of that you don't really get to see throughout the year, especially this year with no visitors coming down. So it's always nice to come back, and especially how convenient it is with the ice in Wainwright. Obviously, without ice in Wainwright or in Irma and having to make the drive, then it definitely crosses your mind a little more to stay down there and obviously use their facilities and stuff. But with the ice in Wainwright, it's almost just too convenient not to come back.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what Carson said. I think the biggest thing is just not being able to see your family for that long of a time. And I mean, I don't really care what you're doing.
And the cows,
we love what we're doing, but you need that. What's that?
Well, and the cows. You got to take care of those.
And the cows. That's the big thing. Yeah. Coming home and getting just a completely different change of pace from what you get during the season. So I guess the cows more than anything, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, the girl.
But being able to come home and having the setup we have, especially this year with the ice being Wainwright, it was really a no-brainer for me, unless I guess everything was completely shut down this year. Maybe I would have thought something else. But as long as the boys are coming back and there's training in Wainwright, I mean, for the foreseeable future, that's probably where I'll be spending my off seasons anyways.
I'm surprised you didn't lead with the cows. We all know you're coming home to see the cows more than anything, but I still think it's super cool that the group of you continue to come back and train in your hometown. I think that's, hats off to Hux and the boys for making it possible. But I mean, honestly, it's always a choice, right? And to support your hometown and come back around, because that's going to, if you're a young kid in town, and you see all you guys coming back, it becomes a tradition, and then they get to train with you and around you, and that'll be big things for those young kids. I don't want to keep you here all night. I know that this is the third celebrity game of Irma Wainwright. I know that, I believe what I've been told is that both have gone to overtime. It is 1-1 series. I got 4 guys on Wainwright, 1 guy on Irma. What's the thoughts on the game coming up here? And is there any bets going down?
This
Seems
game
like Huck's
starting
up
this
tonight for a couple hundred, but we'll see if he sticks with it for come game time. But I don't know. I don't trust putting money on the line with the guy who makes the teams and makes the other teams. So once I see the teams that
money talks, baby.
Hey, you never disrespect the gambling gods ever.
All right. Well, I'm in then. 200 on the line for Team Irma.
Hey, and I won't stack the games. We'll have it audited by a neutral person.
of Huxley's choice.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, be Stacy picking the teams.
A Wainwright resident.
She would want me to lose. So yeah, she's not making the team.
Boys, you guys all go out golfing, hypothetical, or by sounds of it, you do quite often. Who's taking home? Who's taking home the round? Who's the best golfer?
When I get my 12 strokes, I'll wax anything.
Hux is a 6 handicap, and he thinks he needs 12 strokes.
Yeah,
I'm easily losing the most balls and probably the worst golfer of this group, but
you have the most fun.
The most exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
We'll have to. This might be a pre thing. We might have to get the group out. Park said he wanted to get out there too and have a little. That might be our morning skate, a little Irma versus Wainwright morning golf before the game too, just to get the competitiveness going.
Yeah,
I'll get my early morning pregame golf round in Stewart Creek and Canmore. Then I'm darting home for the game.
Yeah,
so I'll be loose.
Well, isn't it Michael Jordan who would do? What did he do? 36 before playoffs?
Yeah, the night before.
Miles, you better not be hiking. We need you. You're the fucking captain.
Captain will be there. Don't worry.
No, we need
Probably
your leg.
still show up late.
Maybe push the start time back 5 minutes, but yeah, I'll be there.
yeah, you'll be there just 5 minutes into the first.
Well, boys, I one final question for you with maybe. I don't know if it's the craziest week in NHL history, but it certainly feels like normally this is spread out. And normally in July, this isn't how it goes. Everybody's usually at the lake and doing whatever. But once again, the 21st is the expansion draft, the 23rd, 24th NHL entry draft, and the 28th free agency. Where do you guys plan on being for all the news going down? Are you going to hide away at the lake, or are you going to be training, or what are you guys going to be doing?
I'll be at
expansion draft day. That's the big day. There's only one thing on our mind on the 21st. That's the big match.
TVs are off. You're getting game ready. Tunes are pumped.
Yeah.
I think Soucy is the only one that has to worry about the expansion draft, but my phones will be shut off, and like Sue said, I'll be focused on the game because there's a lot of pride on the line here when we pull these beautiful Wainwright jerseys on home ice. I don't see us losing on home ice, that's for sure. And that's all.
Yeah. The only thing is, on overtime, it might be a little harder to score this time, Bobby.
Yeah. Yeah, it won't be as easy, but if Seuss has a good stick this time.
That's a shot at Mike.
Oh,
no, it was a shot at Seuss's defending. Didn't even get in the lane. Taking him one-on-one.
Mike's got a 30-year-old glove. He decided on a break.
Is there a cup, boys? Is there an actual cup for winning this thing? Like, is it just bragging rights?
Fox gets off his wallet.
Oh,
just bragging rights.
How can you have a celebrity game, Hux, with no trophy? What is that about?
We'll work on it.
Well, boys, I appreciate you hopping on and talking a little bit about the game. I wish you best of luck. Hopefully, the fans come out, the stands fill up with it being open. And once again, it's this coming Wednesday, 6:30 doors open. Hux.
Yeah, 6:30 warm up, and Sean, you'll be involved. You may be a late addition to Irma. If not, you'll be on the bench.
Yes. Here Seuss. He's starting to give you the old boys. Yeah, I see what's happening here.
Numbers. We need numbers.
Well, thanks, fellas, for hopping on. I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll catch up to you Wednesday.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go Rustlers.
Yeah, go Aces. Here we go.
Hey, folks. Thanks for joining us today. If you just stumbled on the show, please click subscribe. Then scroll to the bottom and rate and leave a review. I promise it helps. Remember, every Monday and Wednesday, we will have a new guest sitting down to share their story. The Sean Newman Podcast is available for free on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you get your podcast fix. Until next time.